I rise today to give voice to the more than 700,000 Wisconsinites who use SNAP to put food on the table. We call it food share in our state. And it's nothing short of a lifeline for over 40 million Americans. But unfortunately, right now, Donald Trump is pulling the rug out from under American families. Let me be crystal clear. No one wins in a shutdown, and that's why I've been practically begging Republican leadership to sit down with Democrats to reopen the government, make sure families are fed, and to lower health care costs. And while I stand ready and willing to work with my colleagues on a compromise, House Republicans have been on vacation for 45 days. Donald Trump has been jet-setting around the world, and when he is back in the country, he has been focused on overseeing the construction of his big, beautiful ballroom. But now, he has finally started to turn his attention to the shutdown. Unfortunately for the American people, he is not coming to the table to negotiate, to reopen the government and bring down health care costs. Instead, he is holding hungry Americans hostage and using families as political pawns. Instead of sitting down with Democrats to find a compromise to get out of this shutdown and lower costs for working families, Donald Trump illegally cut off food for nearly 42 million Americans. President Trump made a choice not to feed hungry families. That's right, a choice. And we learned that choice was illegal. Two different judges concluded that Donald Trump was required to use contingency funds to make sure SNAP continues to flow to hungry families. But the president was then given another choice. The judges told him that he could shift resources around to make families whole and ensure that our kids are fed. But again, the president said no and chose to withhold federal funding needed to keep food on the table for Wisconsinites. Now, to put a finer point on this, the president has the money for all sorts of things. Private planes for his staff, $20 billion to bail out Argentina, and of course, his glamorous ballroom. But he is choosing not to fund SNAP and keep 700,000 Wisconsinites fed. This is really uncharted territory. Until now, ensuring that funding for SNAP continues has been standard operating procedure in every previous shutdown. Until Donald Trump, every president has put people above politics to keep food on the table. By sitting on his hands and refusing to lift a finger for hungry families until a court forced him to step up, Trump has caused total and utter chaos. The resulting delays and confusions have been nothing short of devastating. States are trying to figure out how to administer partial payments. Food pantries are seeing lines outside their doors. Families are showing up to grocery stores unsure if they are going to be able to afford to buy food. Children are going to school with empty stomachs. Then, just today, President Trump posted on social media and further muddied the waters, leading us to question if he plans to abide by the court order to release SNAP benefits at all. The president needs to follow court orders and provide food assistance now, and he should fund it in full. For 700,000 Wisconsinites, Donald Trump refusing to fund SNAP adds insult to injury when it comes to nutrition assistance. Remember, the president's marquee accomplishment this year was passing a massive tax bill that disproportionately benefits the wealthiest Americans and big corporations. And how are we paying for that tax break for billionaires? Donald Trump's novel solution was, in part, the largest cut to SNAP in history. Now, even more families are being left in the lurch because of President Trump, unsure if there will be food on the table this week. We need to reopen the federal government and address rising costs for American families. And we know the fastest way is Donald Trump coming to the table. I'm here waiting. But in the meantime, 42 million American families should not go hungry because Donald Trump wants to use them as leverage. President Trump, you have the power, you have the legal authority to keep these benefits flowing and feed hungry kids. Use it. I yield.